So, hello traders, and welcome to our Gold Rush Daily, whereby we look at gold perspective in terms of what the moves that we are anticipating. So, it's a new month. Allow me to begin analysis from the monthly time frame. So, I'm going to delete all the drawings that I have. So this is gold from the monthly time frame. So we see bullish continuation, or we see gold is very bullish on the monthly time frame. But if you look at the last month, we were able to see closing as a bearish pin bar, all right, insinuating that probably we might be able to see some lower prices. And it's important to take note of the monthly highs. That's why we have the monthly highs, and this is where we have the monthly lows. Okay, so in case we see the price take out maybe the monthly lows, that might insinuate more bearish prices. If you see the price take out the monthly highs, that means that we're gonna be probably going to another all-time high. Okay, so it's important to mark the monthly highs and the monthly lows, and we watch them keenly. So when we go to the weekly time frame, we see some consolidations here. All right, we are seeing some consolidation of prices from the monthly, from the weekly time frame. So we still see the price consolidating within a bullish peanut, which suggests most probably we might be able to see a bullish breakout. Okay, so and these aligns, in case that happens, it aligns with the monthly time frame. So if you look at last week, it was a bullish pin bar, very strong. We see rejection of lower prices, but this again was propelled by the NFP that we had on Friday. So what we're anticipating, maybe probably we might see some retracement within the previous week's candle, and then now maybe we see some continuation of the bullish setup. But when we come to the daily time frame, we are able to see more precise price action, and from the daily time frame, we are seeing the price continue to we see the break of structure, or I mean the BOS here, right? So which means that we might be able to see some bullishness of the prices, and price is likely to come to the daily OB before we see a push, maybe probably a retracement on the downside. Okay, so if we go to the 4 hour time frame, whereby we are able to minimize our risk, so we have our 4 hour time frame OB there. So that again insinuates that we might be able to see the price push all the way up to this OB. And also now here we have also another OB. That is the 4 hour OB, because we see the price has broken above this particular neckline, or the highs that we have here. So we might maybe probably, if it's gonna give us that double bottom, we might want to see the price maybe retrace to this level, and then now give us a push to the upper direction. Okay, so give us a push to the upper direction, because here we are talking about this range from these highs to these lows. So the price is likely to give us another sentiment also from these lows here to these highs all the way to this particular point. Okay, but also maybe probably depending on the volatility of the price or the intensity of the buyer, sometimes we might not be able to see, sometimes we might be able to see the price maybe from where it is push all the way up to this particular point. And what it means is that that's going to give us some buying opportunities. Okay, so even from the 1 hour time frame, we see this is the zone that we will be monitoring the price coming to that zone, and probably if the risk is quite high, because you can see from the 1 hour time frame, you're talking about 112 zone. So you can also be able to narrow it down to the lower time frames so as to minimize the risk. So from the 4 hour time frame, we will have from the 1 hour time frame, we'll have that as our OB. So here we will be looking at some selling opportunities. This particular point, we'll be looking some potential sales here. Okay, so we will have some potential sales, maybe projecting the price to push on the downside. Okay, so maybe probably to this level, but we will be able to determine that once the price reaches here, because we have to monitor the kind of price action that the price does, even as it pushes from here to this particular point. Okay. Alternatively, we have talked about some potential buys here. Okay, so in case we see the price push down to these particular levels, then we might consider some buying opportunities around at this particular point here. All right, maybe now pushing the price up to this particular point. Again, we have to see the kind of price action that the price will do even as it moves down to this particular point, so as now to be able to know where to eyeball our partials as the price maybe probably we expect that bullish push from this particular point. So you can be able to go to the lower time frames, and here now we will talk about now minimizing the risk of our entries, and we can have that minimized to that. If you're not comfortable with maybe that particular kind of risk, maybe you can go also to the 5 minutes time frame and try to minimize the risk. So what we are seeing here is some a bit of consolidation. Okay, so in case we see the price break below this, because here we are seeing a nice trend on the upper direction, so a nice uptrend. So in case we see the price break below this, then it means that we might be able to see the price now pushing all the way down to this particular point, so that now you can be able to eyeball our buying opportunities from this particular level. All right. So, but in case we see the price continuing pushing higher, what we will be looking at, because again, you can see the price has been restricting from that particular point. So what we might be looking at in case we see that breakout, okay, so in case we see that breakout on the upper direction, therefore I'll be waiting for the price to retrace maybe to these particular order blocks here, all right, after that, and then now gaining the momentum to push higher. And the moment it does that, then like we have planned, we might be able to eyeball some cells around these particular level. Okay, we might be able to eyeball some cells here, and we can be able to minimize the risk. All right, can be able to minimize the risk to that. Actually, this is the maximum we can have because of this particular week here. But now we can be able to go to the lower time frames and maybe probably look at the lower time frames, the 5 minutes OB, or probably we can be able to look at the mean threshold of this particular OB. Okay, so that is we wait for the price to come all the way to this mean threshold of this particular OB, so that now we can be able to eyeball some cells. Okay, so in terms of high impact news that are likely to impact gold this week, let's look at that in the Forex Factory. So today is on a Monday. We don't have much for the USD, not unless maybe anything erupts from maybe Trump's speeches, because sometimes he makes these speeches impromptu without any notice. But tomorrow also we'll be having the ISM service PMI, which is likely to affect gold because it's affecting the USD. And for the PMIs, any figure above 50 is considered positive. Then apart from that, on Wednesday we don't have any major news for the USD, but on Thursday we have the unemployment claims. I think this week we don't have much for the USD, only the ISM service PMI and the unemployment claims, which is likely to impact the dollar. So it will be very calm week for the USD. That means we'll be trading purely technically, the technicals in terms of gold, not unless now we have anything erupting, maybe from the tariffs or maybe probably any major news. Sometimes we have not everything that is documented in Forex Factory. We always see sometimes news happening which are not documented, and they end up pushing the prices higher. Okay, so again, it's on a Monday. It's good also to trade slow or to manage your risk wisely, because we don't have much volatility. As you can see here today, gold has just opened and is still in a consolidation after the rally of the NFP. Okay, so we are still seeing some consolidation. So there is not much volume here. So even in case when the setups happens, remember also on Monday, sometimes we tend to see a lot of manipulation because of power 3. So trade cautiously in case of any opportunities today. Be at a point whereby you can be able to lower your risk. If you do 2%, maybe you can consider doing 0.5 or maybe probably 1%. All right. So with that, I think most of the trading will resume tomorrow. That's when we'll start hunting setups starting tomorrow. But for today, ensure you stay focused, stay disciplined, and also ensure to trade with purpose. So until tomorrow, keep safe.